Like about 1:30 a.m. this morning. Now is ano ba? January 19. Yeah, 1:30 a.m. Kakalog off ko lang from work. And I'm about to fire up my Switch to start grinding for this effing first boss in Shin Megami Tensei 5. When suddenly my phone notified me about RGT 85's video about Microsoft buying Activision. So instead of me like putting my headset or AirPods on to listen to Shin Megami Tensei's weird but weird music, I opted to hear what RGT 85 is about to say uh, about that acquisition. And apparently during that period, the internet, Twitter, and YouTube is actually exploding because of this news. I ended up uh, like putting my Switch down and watching different coverage about this matter, because why not, diba? Like this kind of transaction, this kind of deal between Microsoft and Activision. This is the biggest corporate acquisition in gaming so far. So let's talk about the monetary aspect of this deal. Microsoft bought Activision Blizzard for 68.7, as I mentioned kanina. 68.7 billion US dollars. That's nearly 70 billion. That's that's too much actually. That includes all games and all studios under Activision Blizzard. There's a lot. So later, let's tackle that. But for now, this this transaction between, or this acquisition between Microsoft and Activision Blizzard, minanilang nito yung pagbili ng Microsoft sa Bethesda. Remember, last year, Microsoft also bought Bethesda, and that's around 7.5 billion. So if you look at it on a monetary perspective, 10 times ang laki nitong deal na to compared to the recent acquisition in Bethesda. Okay, siguro for those who really don't know Microsoft outside of like gaming, para sa mga younger generation, most likely those that namulat na sa Windows 10 siguro, and really don't know much about what Microsoft do outside gaming. So I started working before. Well, I started my career in the IT industry as an IT consultant for a particular IT company that partners with Microsoft. This means majority of the solution, no, all of the solution is Microsoft. Before I join, ang iniisip ko lang, Microsoft do have Microsoft Windows and then Microsoft Office. But upon joining, I realized and I discovered Microsoft is an enterprise level company who has solution for almost anything about IT. Like whatever you can think about. Servers, networking, financials, collaboration, communication, whatever it is about IT, Microsoft has solution for that. Fast forward to the present time. They have on top of mind, this is the biggest for me. They have Office 365 and Azure. Office 365 is your, well, it's your Microsoft Office. It's just that right now it is residing in the cloud, meaning uh, instead of you installing, though you can still do that, instead of you installing your Microsoft Office in your machine or in your computer, you can do that on the cloud through streaming technology. And then, other than that, within that Office 365, it does have all these tools, all these collaboration tools that integrates together, parang making it more of parang virtual office mo na. Like, alam mo nga, pag you have this Office 365 and you start using it, you don't, most of the time, you don't need to go outside Office 365 because everything is in there. Yeah. And then on the other hand, Microsoft do have Azure. Azure is the cloud technology counterpart for AWS for Amazon, of Amazon, and then Google Cloud for Google, of course. This technology gives you the capability to virtualize your physical IT components. Halimbawa, gusto mong yung server farm mo, gusto mong i-virtualize dahil ayaw mo na i-maintain physically. Gusto mong parang iba na ang mag-maintain iba na ang mag-maintain ng physical infrastructure. You just utilize the services. You can do that through Azure. I won't go deep dive sa Azure. I have just given kung ano yung parang siguro. Tingin kong high level lang para maintindihan ano ba yung mga services na yan ng Microsoft. Ngayon, bakit ko sinasabi to? It's really to uh, explain how Microsoft is able to buy these big companies. Or yeah, for example, in this scenario, si Activision Blizzard. That's 68.7 billion. Almost 70. Halos kapantayan ng market cap ng mga kalaban niya eh. Well, speaking of market cap, well, when I say market cap is really the valuation of the company. Si Microsoft is valued at 2.2 or siguro rounded off na 2.3. 2.3 trillion. Comparing it like to Sony, Sony is around 143.5 billion US dollars. While Nintendo, kaya sinabi ko kanina, halos kapantay na. The latest I saw around 54.77 billion. But I'm seeing some news na sa around 80 plus billion yung market cap ng Nintendo. But the latest that I saw, I checked earlier, around nasa 54.77 billion. But regardless, 80 man of 54.77 billion USD market cap. The 70 the almost 70 billion US dollars amount of acquiring Activision Blizzard. It's around that area. So meaning ibig sabihin lang nito, Microsoft do have the capability to buy Nintendo. Though I'm not saying they will do that, and I'm not saying Nintendo will let them do that, because as we all know, like Nintendo is an established like video game company, and I don't think it's really hard to if they will acquire Nintendo. They will try to acquire Nintendo. Well, definitely mas malaki yun dun sa 68.7 billion US dollars. But then again, remember, with all the things that's happening with Activision Blizzard right now, baka nga bargain pa yung 68.7 billion na yun eh. Baka bargain yun. Kasi, remember, ang baba ng bumaba yung valuation yan most likely because of the workplace issues that is happening in Activision Blizzard. Now, when it comes to like, since I already mentioned yung mga services that Microsoft has outside gaming, let's try to understand what are the synergies that Xbox or Microsoft Gaming has with all those services. We'll understand it as well in a way. Ano yung tingin kong parang edge niya over Sony and Nintendo dahil dito sa mga services na to. Well, hindi naman marami yon. Isa lang ang nakikita ko talaga. Though, kasi I think we should not expect any gaming assets or whatever related to Xbox popping into Office 365. That's weird. But it's more on the Azure. As you all know, cloud gaming is much like NFT, is on the, should I say, near term for gaming. It's something that we cannot avoid. I think it's inevitable as well. I think in the future we'll see cloud gaming becoming a norm. Particularly kasi sa advantages niya of not particularly utilizing any hardware to any unique or proprietary hardware to play games, because in cloud gaming you can play like in your whatever phone, laptop, PC, as long as it has a browser. The only problem that we have right now is the performance, because everything is running over the internet. But definitely, it will be in the near future. It will be our norm in terms of gaming. Baka nga mas uh, confident akong sabihin na mas matatanggap siya ng mga gamers kesa sa NFTs in the near future. But yeah, anong relation niya ngayon kay kay Azure? Well, as I mentioned earlier, Azure is really their cloud solution, and they're utilizing that already in Game Pass. Uh, and when the cloud game, actually Game Pass is their actually cloud gaming solution, capability, and with how Game Pass is doing right now in terms of the offerings and the acquisition, what that means to Game Pass with all the games that will probably be added there. Gamit na gamit yung Azure. Now, comparing it to Sony, I understand si Spartacus palabas. But I don't think Sony has its own, should I say, infrastructure for cloud. Most likely, Sony is, if not utilizing other cloud solution like AWS. I don't know. I haven't checked how Sony is doing the PS Plus before, and even Spartacus. But either gimagamit siya ng other cloud solutions, or merong sariling private cloud si Sony. But most likely, hindi siya up to scale ng Nintendo. Sorry, ng Microsoft. Well, speaking of Nintendo, I don't think at this point it's for discussion. Like, the online services of Nintendo is really not comparable to Sony and PlayStation right now. Even yung eShop sobrang bagal. Okay, ano yung mga games na na-acquire nila? Uh, Even before going dun sa two juggernaut that they recently acquired, si ZeniMax, or yung owner ng Bethesda, and si even si Activision Blizzard. Let's just check ano yung mga meron na sila even before acquiring those. Number one, Rare. Rare do have this Golden Eye, Perfect Dark, Banjo Kazooie, Viva Pinata, Sea of Thieves, and Battletoads. Golden Eye pa lang, like, that is a great game. If you're not aware, so there's a clamoring in terms of uh, getting the Golden Eye game dun sa Nintendo 64 online version, yung sa online expansion pack ng Nintendo Switch na hindi sulit. So everyone wants this because there's a lot of fans and following of GoldenEye 007 sa Nintendo 64. Now, Banjo-Kazooie, and then Sea of Thieves. Also, wala dito yung Conker's Bad Fur Day. Hindi ko alam kung bakit hindi nakalagay dito. Next is like this one, Halo. Di ba? Gears of War. This one, Minecraft. Like, we all know how big Minecraft is, and we all know how this had been a cash machine for Microsoft. So they bought it at 2.5 billion compared mo dun sa 68.7 billion ng Activision Blizzard. Yeah, okay. Huwag na natin daanan yung iba, pero mag-focus tayo siguro ZeniMax Media, which owns Bethesda. Yung mga games na nandyan, Elder Scrolls, Skyrim, of course. And all the earlier Elder Scrolls that was released before Skyrim. And then si Fallout, Wolfenstein, Doom, just ko, Quake, Dishonored, saka Evil Within. Like, if you look at this, tapos idagdag mo dyan yung Call of Duty, wala lang dyan yung, should I say, Battlefield, ano pa ba? Far Cry, yung mga triple A na first person view, or sabihin natin yung mga kasi yung Skyrim hindi naman siya FPS, first person shooter, but most of the first person type of game, like sabihin natin 50 or more than 50% nandyan like, 'di ba? Okay. Kung makikita nyo yung Starfield, if you're look parang researching or looking at news right now, this is another anticipated game from Bethesda, and Microsoft owns this. So looking more on the games that Microsoft acquires from Activision Blizzard. Number one, Call of Duty. Like everything, all the Call of Duty that is released before it. Uh, Vanguard, that was the recent campaign or the recent release na may single player campaign. And of course, yung Warzone na very popular sa mga streamers, very popular right now as a free to play game. And should I say, battle royale game. World of Warcraft. I don't know if Final Fantasy 14 is it exclusive to PS, PlayStation. I don't know. But Microsoft getting World of Warcraft, that's very big in terms of having this IP that competes with Final Fantasy 14. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of players of World of Warcraft until this point. Now, Diablo, well, no brainer, you know what Diablo is. I don't know if there's an equivalent game out there for this one other than Neverwinter Nights, which Microsoft owns as well through Obsidian. Hearthstone, the competition for Legend of Frontera. It's a card game, as you all know. Overwatch, StarCraft, Candy Crush, Tony Hawk Pro Skater, Guitar Hero, Skylanders, and Spyro the Dragon. Looking at this lineup, like look at again, what I mentioned earlier, yung first person type of games. Yung lineup niyan, kung makikita mo, again, Skyrim, Halo, Call of Duty, Overwatch, Dishonored, Quake, Doom, Wolfenstein. So, may Fallout ka pa, which I don't know, it's not really, the recent Fallout 76 is not really good. But then again, that's almost like how many? More than 50% of the AAA first person type of game. And then you see here, there's a lot of casual games as well. Like, you have Candy Crush. Though, mobile game yan, ang laki nung kita niyan. Definitely. Ang laki nung kinikita ng Candy Crush with all the microtransactions that mobile gaming is really known for. And Microsoft acquiring this. Number one, this gives them an entry point to mobile again. As you all know, Microsoft tried to penetrate the mobile industry by creating their own hardware, but that didn't work. And partnering with Nokia yata, tama, that didn't work. But yeah, entering mobile gaming, yan, Candy Crush is their entry point. And all the other casual games that you can see here. So imagine the lineup, the catalog of Microsoft Xbox right now, with all the games that Microsoft has. This is very competitive, and this is what's scary for PlayStation. But another thing that we need to siguro pag-usapan ng konting-konti lang is yung esports. Like, I don't know if Microsoft have their share of involvement sa esports through Halo or other games that they already have right now. But acquiring Activision Blizzard definitely put them in the right place or situation wherein they can enter that space through Hearthstone. You have Call of Duty, you have StarCraft, of course. Kahit na ilang taon na rin nung magawa yung StarCraft 2, I understand there's still tournaments held, particularly for StarCraft two athletes. Now, do we look at this as monopoly? I don't think so. Though without me looking at the actual definition of monopoly na nakalagay kay Google, to me monopoly is rendering your competition not able to continue business, or like significantly like reducing the capability of your competition in such a way that the market doesn't have any options in terms of product, in terms of whatever they can consume. uh that's my parang freehand top of mind definition of monopoly. When you look at it, upon buying Activision Blizzard, yeah, definitely yes. Sobrang anlaki ng tinaas at nilakas ng gaming catalog ng Microsoft Xbox. But that doesn't render PlayStation as uh, a company that cannot compete. Remember, there's ang daming magagandang exclusive ng PlayStation. Yun nga yung lamang nila sa Microsoft eh. Right now, mas mataas rin ang sales ng PlayStation 5. But pwedeng magbago yun how Game Pass is doing right now, and how a lot of games is now owned by Microsoft. But then again, that doesn't render PlayStation and Nintendo as parang, or does that move does not significantly impact PlayStation and Nintendo to the point na hindi na sila makakalaban. To the point na hindi na tayo magkakaroon ng magagandang PlayStation game. Lahat na pipiliin natin Microsoft. I think it's not the case. Hindi naman parang like 85% 90% ng gaming market, gaming assets and gaming studios, developers na kay Microsoft eh. Hindi. There's a lot of opportunities pa rin kay PlayStation at kay Nintendo. Lalo na si Nintendo na parang wala lang siyang pakialam sa mga ganyan. Sige, mag-away kayo, Microsoft saka Sony, maglaban kayo. Para basta ako dito, I'm sticking with my direction. I'm sticking with my direction in terms of hardware and software. It's up to you guys. Bahala kayo mag-away-away dyan. Yeah, like that one. So, I don't think really it's a monopoly. It's really a very good move from Microsoft. But surely PlayStation will come back to this. Will have their own good moves. It's now up to the customers, which I know there's a big chunk of Microsoft customers and a big chunk of PlayStation customers. Baka nga mas malaki yung PlayStation customers up kahit hanggang ngayon eh. And then there's the separate customers for Nintendo. So really, I don't think this is monopoly and we can start talking about this as something negative. This is very good actually for the gaming industry. Making it actually this makes it more competitive. Parang looking at it the other way, mas naging competitive yung space. Like if I'm PlayStation, mag-iisip na ako ngayon paano. Actually, I'm thinking, hindi ba siya na-detect ng PlayStation at Nintendo? Like this kind of acquisition this big, I don't think you can keep this as secret as, I don't know, 100% secret. Like, there should be room. Dapat may, kasi bigla na siyang lumabas, di ba? No one knows this. Like, walang rumor na nagsasabi na parang may mangyayaring acquisition. No, walang ganun. Alam niyo naman sa panahon ngayon, when there's this something big happening in the near, like, weeks, days, automatically, nag-iingay na yung Twitter eh. Automatically, may mga coverage na sa YouTube. Pero, wala tayong nakitang ganun. I don't know, PlayStation being Sony being a giant corporation that it is, wala ba silang parang market competition study that can parang snip out some of these things that's happening, that can parang data mine what's happening with Microsoft and Activision? I don't know. Like, but then again, it's not monopoly for me, at least. It's not really monopoly. Now, how do this impact Nintendo? Though I won't tackle this. Hindi ko pa nababasa ng todo kung ano man yung naka indicate sa other screen ko, yung talking point, how does Microsoft purchase of Activision Blizzard impact Nintendo. But on top of my mind, to me it's positive, really. Remember how Microsoft had been like porting their games in Nintendo Switch, like yung dalawang Ori and even yung Cuphead. All of those are pretty much famous games and fan favorites sa Nintendo Switch. Uh, and also utilizing, I think before may nabasa ako in terms of Microsoft is in a way partnering with Nintendo to increase its market in Japan, because well, Nintendo is king in Japan and Microsoft is what, the jester. Kasi pumapangalawa sa Nintendo is PlayStation, and Microsoft is really not that strong in Japan, and they want to gain that market in Japan as well. So uh, sabi ko nga, even nung Bethesda acquisition, excited ako kasi remember yung Skyrim nasa Nintendo Switch. Well, nasa ibang platform na rin naman siya. Pero excited because of there's a competition pa rin Microsoft and Nintendo. Pero alam mo yung parang it's not like PlayStation that it's parang Ateneo Lasal. Parang Ateneo Lasal na hindi mo talaga mapaghahalo. Well, ano lang, syempre yung rivalry. Pero si Nintendo Switch para siguro siyang sino ba? Si UST or UP. Oh, sige. Para siyang UP or whatnot na parang this pure of a gaming company, kung saan it's really not hostile, parang it's really not hostile towards Microsoft or PlayStation. It's still competitive with them, but since Nintendo has its own thing, so parang instead of hostility over the other or parang hard competition over the other companies, parang there's partnership na nangyayari pa nga So yeah, I'm excited because most likely positive yung impact nitong acquisition ng Activision Blizzard by Microsoft sa Switch. Call of Duty sa Switch. Call of Duty sa Switch, baka yung unang Call of Duty, yung World War II pa. Okay, I'll close this video at this point. Basically, the to summarize all the things that I mentioned, si Microsoft have all this capability talaga to buy these big companies, but we are shocked. We are really shocked. Like, the CEO of Microsoft recently mentioned that hindi nila sinusupport yung what's happening in Activision Blizzard. Then eventually, they're buying it. But they have all the capability. They are around 2 trillion in terms of valuation as a company, Microsoft, and they have deep pockets to buy this kind of company to make to create advantage in the market. And this is a very good move. This is a very good move not only for Microsoft but for the gamers, because it creates competition, harder competition between Microsoft, PlayStation, Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo. The lineup of games that now Microsoft has makes it more attractive to me in particular right now. I don't have PlayStation 5. I don't have Xbox Series X and S because I'm fully dedicating myself to playing in Nintendo. But if I have the capability right now, financial, and the time, I'll pick definitely Microsoft Xbox because of this particular move. Yes, I'll be honest, because of this particular move. Nung Bethesda pa lang parang that's attractive to me already. But now, I remember Bethesda games are exclusive to Microsoft. It will not land into your PlayStation 5s. Uh, and also, this is not monopoly to me. I cannot really look at it as monopoly, and I'm really hoping that this has a positive impact to the Nintendo gamers as well. So if you can see or notice, I really don't parang particularly discuss ano yung impact ng bagay na to kay PlayStation, kay Sony. I leave it up to you guys. Talk to me in the comments if you can. If you find this interesting, after reading or after listening to a lot of YouTubers already, if you want to talk about it, if you want to tell me anong tingin yung impact nito sa PlayStation and Sony as a whole, leave your comments below. If you like this kind of contents, if you like these commentaries, like the page in Facebook, then like it as well in YouTube, subscribe as well in YouTube, and follow me in the page in Facebook. Okay? If you dislike this, then feel free to dislike. Message nyo ako bakit ayaw nyo nung content. But for now, I'm out. Thank you. Keep gaming.